It's not the ideal scenario, but another day, another comeback win for the Phoenix Suns. They have outdone themselves last night after their 18-point deficit that they dug themselves out of against the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a 21-point deficit last night against the Clippers as they come roaring back to win 125-119 to push themselves to 4-1 in the early stage of the season. And this is not the way this team wants to make a living in the NBA. You like it. You like that they show that ability to come back. You like that they show that no lead is insurmountable. You like that they are showing this fight this early in the season. That's a good thing. That is a positive sign for a team that's dealing with new players, new coaches. It's a good thing that they are able to, this early in the season, rally the troops and erase these deficits. You don't like how often these deficits are coming up. It is not a way you want to live in the postseason when the competition gets better, when you're more tired because you've played more games. You don't want to have your recipe, your formula for success to be, hey, we're just going to spot you a quick 15, a quick 20-point deficit. Nah, don't worry. In the second half, we'll come back. We'll hit our first 15 shots of the third quarter to be able to get ourselves back into this game. It's nice. It's fun. It creates some good fodder for us to start the show here today, discussing another Phoenix Suns comeback, another Phoenix Suns win to start the year. But it is not the way this team is going to be able to make a living throughout the remainder of the regular season and into the postseason. So you like it right now. It's fun. It's exciting. Devin Booker dropping 40. But this is not the way this team is going to want to win down the stretch. This is not the way this team is going to want to win in the postseason. You cannot, when you are playing the creme de la creme, when you are playing the top teams in the Western Conference playoffs, when you have gone through the grind of a regular season, this cannot be your recipe for a victory. It cannot be, don't worry about it. If we get down early, we'll just come back. You have to be able to be a team that gets out in front and doesn't spot yourself these large deficits, because they do take a toll. It's fun, it's exciting, but these types of games take a toll on you when you are constantly having to battle back from these deficits. It was an 18-point deficit the other night against the Lakers, and it was a 21-point deficit last night against the Clippers. We already mentioned the 40 spot from Devin Booker, but I think the biggest takeaway from this game is Bradley Beal injured. You find yourself asking the question, here we go again, perhaps, him missing time already. Ryan Dunn gets inserted directly into the starting lineup, and he thrived. 16 points, 4 of 9 from behind the three-point line. And I think the biggest takeaway from Ryan Dunn's game last night and the early part of the season for Ryan Dunn is the trust that this coaching staff has in him. We need to give him a lot of credit for the work that he has done to fix his shot, to improve offensively, because that was always going to be the thing that stopped him from being on the court. We talked about it in the lead up to the start of the season, that he was going to provide you NBA quality defense immediately on the floor. But you worried that if the Suns were in a hole like they were last night, where they're down 21, you're down 18 against the Lakers, the game script with Ryan Dunn's inability to be an offensive threat, you would have to take him off the floor. He would not be able to play those minutes. Well, he is showing that he can play those minutes. He played 34 minutes last night. He started the basketball game, 16 points, 4 of 9 from behind the three-point line. This coaching staff trusts their young player. And that is the takeaway that I have from this game last night, is they trust him in order to start him. They trust him to give him 34 minutes. They trust him to be on the floor while this team is making this big comeback. They trust him to be a major part of what they are doing. And even with Bradley Beal on the sidelines, they believe that they have a player that they can insert into their starting five, and they can still be efficient and still be effective. And Royce O'Neal with a great performance off the bench, 21 points off the bench, the only other Sun with 20 points outside of Booker's 40 spot. And so it's another day. It's another comeback for the Phoenix Suns. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a good start to the year. They are showing us some fight here in the early going, which is really cool. It's something to keep an eye on for the remainder of the season. But please, save us all. Don't do this the entire year, please. Well, I don't think we can take this, because this team will run out of gas by the time the season is over. This show is not running out of gas. We are full steam ahead for the next 2 hours on a Football Friday,